So I just want to take a moment to express how absolutely ludicrous it is to make the claim that these boats coming off of Venezuela were heading for the United States. We already know where at least one of the boats was engaged by the U.S. Navy. It was off the coast of Venezuela near Trinidad and Tobago. The closest place they could get to U.S. soil is Key West, right here. So if we're just talking straight line distance from where this boat roughly was engaged to Key West, Florida, we're talking about 1,600 miles. And that's straight line, not going around Cuba, not going around Haiti, which is right here, just straight line distance, 1,634 miles roughly. So let's just account for having to go around Cuba and Haiti. That's about 1,750 miles. So round trip, this 20 to 50 foot speedboat is going 3,500 miles. These boats go about 70 miles per hour. And that's being generous because assuming it's fully loaded down, I mean, one of them had 11 people plus, quote unquote, the drugs that were going to be in the boat with them. Plus, they're going to have to carry extra fuel, and I'll get to that in a moment. But they're having to go 3,500 miles at 70 miles per hour. That's 50 hours nonstop. You're not stopping for anything at all whatsoever. Not stopping to refuel. You're refueling on the move. You're not stopping to get any rest. You're having the drivers rotate while one sleeps. Over 48 hours, over 2 days, this is going to take you. And that is in good water. That's in good weather, no storms or anything like that. Speaking of fuel, one of these boats can go about 500 miles. And again, that's being generous because they're going to be completely weighed down by the supposed drugs they're carrying and the multiple people that are on the boat. They can go about 500 miles on a tank of gas. So that means that they'll need 7 full tanks of gas to make this work. 7 to go to Florida and back. I don't think they can carry that much gas. In fact, I know they can't carry that much gas. And some will say, well, maybe they're stopping in Haiti. Maybe they're stopping in Cuba. Maybe they're getting refueled again in Florida. Okay, great. All of that takes time. And now we're talking about 72 hours. We're talking about a 3-day operation here. This is getting pretty ridiculous as to the claims being made here. I mean, even at Venezuela's closest location, it's still 1,100 miles. If you drive through Cuba for part of that, you're still having to go around Cuba here or going through the middle of Cuba and Haiti right there. And furthermore, I have a broader question here. Why is Venezuela the target? I mean, they're not the only country with cartels that have speedboats moving across the Gulf of Mexico or heading up the Gulf of California. So why is Venezuela the only target? I mean, outside of Venezuela, I know for a fact that Colombia has speedboat cartels, Ecuador has speedboat cartels, Guatemala has speedboat cartels, the Dominican Republic has speedboat cartels. Even smaller countries in the Caribbean, Bahamas, etc. have them. And oh yeah, Mexico does as well. So why is Venezuela the only target right now of the U.S. military? What specific political aim here are we trying to influence by only targeting Venezuela? Because it's now becoming apparent that this is not about drugs. This is about something else. Because if it was about drugs, we would have military posted up across the entire Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, along the Pacific coast of Mexico as well, including Guatemala, Ecuador, Colombia. And we just aren't doing that. And that's just the ones that I know. I'm pretty sure Honduras, Nicaragua, other countries have boats that are running drugs into the United States. But why is it Venezuela is the only one being targeted? Well, it's likely a political reason having to do with Maduro, potentially having to do with bringing him to heel so that U.S. energy companies can operate in Venezuela, which have enormous oil reserves. That's just my theory. Because if it is about drugs, then we should be blowing up Mexican boats, Guatemalan boats, Colombian boats, Ecuadorian boats. I mean, across this entire region, the Venezuelans aren't the only ones.